Hey guys, welcome. My name is Adrian. I'm lit. This is Fuck Off Therapy. Welcome. This is raw. No editing as it is. I've got nothing written down with points and notes that I want to share. Whatever comes out is going to come out. At some point I might do a second video, edited version, more professional, covering the points more succinctly. But right now it's raw, I'm giving you as it is. It's called Fuck Off Therapy. It's very powerful. Anyone who knows me, Adrian, Umrit, you'll be like, only Adrian could do such a thing, come out for therapy called Fuck Off Therapy. And it's true, because we're all unique beings. So it's for us to bring uniqueness into the world. So this is a unique expression of my uniqueness. And Fuck Off Therapy is just something that came last night. But it's been in many years in preparation, but it's very powerful because I worked with a guy last night, literally at the 12th hour, midnight it was last night. He was on the verge of going into a private mental hospital, and I've watched him break down over the last 6 weeks since lockdown. And I helped him heal himself with Fuck Off Therapy like that. I'm telling you, Fuck Off Therapy, I'm going to explain it now what it is. It's very powerful, and you can heal yourself literally in the clicking of the fingers or a blinking of the eye. It's that powerful, and the results are that quick. It's a real deal. And it's very ironic that I call it Fuck Off Therapy. I'm going to get serious now. It's very ironic that I call it Fuck Off Therapy because anyone who knows me knows that I hardly ever swear. I hardly ever swear. I'm really conscious about the language I use, and I'm not into swear words. It's not something that I resonate with. I don't like using swear words. So it's very ironic that I've called my therapy Fuck Off Therapy, and I use the word fuck off a lot in it because that's the therapy. So I'm starting to use that word a lot, and I might use the word like fucking, you know, in the talk because this is what we're dealing with. So what is Fuck Off Therapy? Well, let's get to the crux of it. It's basically, okay, who's it for? We're working with the mind, okay? That's what we're dealing with Fuck Off Therapy, but all other things come in to support it, like exercise, fresh air, yoga, meditation, healthy eating, blah, blah, blah. So many other things to support the Fuck Off Therapy, but Fuck Off Therapy is the root of it, and we're dealing with the mind. And statistics have shown now that mental illness is becoming the largest growing illness in the Western world, and that more people are starting to suffer from mental illness than physical illness. That's how serious it's got in the Western world, because something's not working for people in the Western world, and they're getting under a classification called mental illness. So what we're dealing with in this therapy is that we're dealing with the mind, it's dealing with the voices in the head, okay? So it doesn't matter what the voices are. The essence of the voices is the same, and F-off therapy works for everyone. Doesn't matter the voice, they're just different expressions of the same essence. So if someone's suffering, whether it's mild or severe, it doesn't matter. Let's call him John. Last night, this is severe OCD. So when people get to a severe point, they might be more ready to take it seriously. When it's mild, they live with it. But you still don't have to live with it. You can use F-off therapy with any condition with the mind to come back to your full power. So anyone who's suffering from anxiety, depression, stress, OCD, which is John last night, or what's that name for someone, you've got claustrophobia, then you've got the other word where they can't go out into the big world, so they stay locked away. I haven't got the name. It works for that. It works for anything. Anything where there's a voice in your head telling you have to do something or you can't do it, you tell that voice to fuck off. That's what you do. You tell the voice to fuck off. That's for F-off therapy, and it works. Now, first of all, I know some of you are probably thinking I'm crazy. People who know me, it's like, oh, he's off on one. But no, this is real, okay? We're dealing with realness here. We're not messing around. We're not beating around the bush. You tell it all to fuck off, okay? You don't need none of it. You don't need the drugs. You don't need the pharmaceuticals. You don't need the doctor. You don't need the psychiatrist. You don't need it. It all fucks off. You fuck it all off. But I'm not saying people to stop taking your pharmaceutical drugs if that's what you're on now. That's got to be done. This is a serious program, even though it's coming across a bit flippant. It's a serious thing we're dealing with here. And the pharmaceuticals, you have to wean yourself off them all properly. But when that's happened, when the light is turned on, then you know you don't need them anymore. It's just a matter of time of weaning them out. But you've already stopped them. You've stopped the doctor, you've stopped the psychiatrist, you've stopped the drugs. It's all happened. You've healed yourself. And that's why I say you've healed yourself. I haven't healed you. I've helped you heal yourself. But you're healing yourself. So what's going on? So the voices are in your head. They're telling you to do this, do that. So the first thing is discernment. You have to discern who am I and who is the voice, and separate the two. If the voice is talking, you're not even discerning that it's not you, then you just go along with it and it's got you. So first of all, like, my name's Adrian. So who is Adrian? I have to know myself. And if this voice comes into my head and says, do that, I think, that's not Adrian. What is this? Fuck off. But I don't have to, you know, for me, it's just cool and that. But someone who it's really taken over by these voices, this is the point you get to. You just have to end up telling it to fuck off. You can reason with the voice, like, say, we'll call his name John for, you know, privacy. It's not his real name. So John, since lockdown, he had some slight OCD, but it got worse and worse from lockdown. And now he's been washing his hands like it's got serious. I told you, he's just about to go into a mental hospital, private mental hospital. It could have cost him like £10,000, you know. He sold his mum's house, he had some money, the money's there, but it could have ended up costing 10 grand, or who knows how much, more even. And that he was at that point. His sister was about to arrange for his hospital this week, and he got that bad. So he's digressed over 6 weeks to the point, this is where it's got to, that he's constantly washing his hands. He walks around like this now, shuffles around the house, can't touch anything, because if he touches anything, he has to wash his hand. He goes through a box or more of latex gloves a day. Everything he has to do, he has to put on latex gloves to touch something. Then the latex gloves are contaminated, he has to throw them away. Now he's got something, but he can't really do anything with it because it's contaminated anyway. You know, he's completely taken over. He has to wash his hand like 100 times. His hands are like red raw. We're going to get aloe vera for him and sort out his skin and that. But his hands are red raw right up to there. He washes like 100 times a day or something. He's always just washing his hands when he's not putting gloves on to do something else. He got to the point where if his clothes touch something, then the clothes are... It all got down because it was coronavirus. Coronavirus, we're all going to die. That's how it all started. And now he's got to this point that he lost control of it. It just took over him, and now there's no rationality to what he's doing. But he can't control it, and he knows it. That's the thing, he knows that it's irrational, but he had no control about it. But that was his blessing, that he knows. Because that means if he knows, he's still there, observing what's going on. Like sometimes if people take too strong antipsychotics or something, they get an antipsychotic, they lose themselves, and it's like they're not really there anymore. It's like, are you there? Are you there? And they're not really there. It's like, oh, you've kind of lost that person. So it's very hard for a person in that condition, in that situation, to bring them back. But if someone knows, it's like, okay, that person's there. How much of themselves they've got control of themselves is a different thing. They might only have 10 or 20%, and the other 80% of these voices just like pounding them down. But at least they know, and then you can work with them, that part of them, that is them, and you help them come back to their full power. So it got to the point where his clothes are touching something, contaminated, my clothes are contaminated, and he starts ripping off his clothes, contaminated. He even got to the point of getting scissors, cutting his clothes off and ripping them off. It was that extreme. And then the whole laundry room is just full of his clothes now. He had no more clothes left because they're all going there, can't deal with it, put more gloves on to touch the, you know, washing. And in the end, it's just all taken over. The laundry room's full of clothes. He's got no more clothes. He wouldn't go in the shower because it's a shared shower, so he's showering from the sink. The whole floor is just full of water. His old bins are just overflow with tissues where he's wiping and gloves, and it's just a mess. The kitchen, anything he eats, he can't wash up. That's a mess. Everywhere is just his mess. And now it's reached the point where everyone's like, we can't take this. We're not counsellors. He can't handle it anymore. His sister's come, and it's all like, you've got to go into a hospital, mate. The hospital didn't want to take him. He went there. They kept sending him home because they don't want to take people on. So it's like, well, you've got to go to a private hospital. And he's like, I do. But he doesn't want to. And that's probably part of the impetus. It's reached the point we had to. So I went out to him yesterday evening and told him that, John, you know, meditation is so good, man. So you have to sit with this and just observe it and know you're not it, you know, and just watch the thought and not respond. You know, you have to sit with it. This is what meditation does. It helps you overcome your mind and know yourself better. He's like, I can't do that, I can't do that. And any time I've talked about meditation in the past, or connecting with his breath, and he gets triggered and he backs off. And so I went to bed like 11:30 last night, frustrated, like I'm really feeling for this guy, you know. And I'm in bed and I couldn't sleep, and I'm like, he's got to just tell that voice to fuck off. This is how fuck off therapy came about. I said, he's got to just tell that voice to fuck off. So I'm lying in bed and I said, it was like midnight now, last night, and I'm like, I've got to go out and just tell him. I said, I don't know how he's going to take this. He might all back off, and he might, but I said, I've got to try, man, do something for this guy. I know what's going on with him. Because it doesn't matter what the voice is, it's the same for anyone. It doesn't matter what the voice is telling you. It's the same voice in a different outfit. It's just, so it's one cure for all. So I said, I've got to tell him, he's got to just tell the voice to fuck off. Forget the meditation, just tell the voice to fuck off. So I went out there, I said, so when I went out, where was he? At the sink, washing his hands, midnight, just washing his hands, red raw. I'm like, are you washing your hands again, are you, John? Oh yeah, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's like, yeah, right. Look, John, mate, you got to tell, you know that voice in your head? You got to tell it to fuck off, mate. You know what I mean? It's not, look at that voice in your head, John. Is it your friend? No, it's not your friend. Look what it's doing to you. Look where it's taking you. Look what you've become from that voice, from listening to that voice, and that voice has overpowered you. It's not your friend. And not only is it not your friend, it's your fucking enemy, mate. The enemy is in your own fucking head. There's no enemy out there. It's in your head. This is your battle that you've got to fight now. I said, you're not working because, you know, your work stopped. But this is the real work. I said, John, this is the real work, man. This is what we're here on this earth as human beings to do, this work, to conquer what's going on within ourselves and understand ourselves and all our aspects of our being and become a whole person again. So I said, this is the real work, John, right now. And I said, you're in a battle, mate. So you've got to know you're in a battle and you've got to fight this war. Then I went on, which I think is a great example of Christ. Was Christ on earth 2,000 years? Who knows? I say yes. Did he go into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights and fast? Who knows? I say yes. But either way, fact or symbolically, I said this is what's going on. When Christ sat in that desert for 40 days and 40 nights, what happened? The devil came to tempt him, didn't he? Anyone who knows the story? If you're the Son of Man, jump off this cliff, you'll be fine. What did Christ say to that voice? Get hence, Satan. That's what he said, get hence. Then Satan would come back. If you're the Son of Man, get hence, Satan. Well, what he's actually saying, another language for get hence, Satan, is fuck off. Okay? This is a modern language for get hence. Because we won't really say get hence, Satan anymore, do we? But we say fuck off. And fuck off is a really strong vibration. It's got a very strong vibration. Every word has a vibrational frequency. I never use the word fuck off, practically never swear. Because they're very strong vibration frequencies, so I don't need to use them, but they're there and they have a place. And right now in F-off therapy, it's got a really good place. So that's what Christ was saying to that voice in his head who was tempting him to jump, because he was fasting and that 40 days fasting in the wilderness. You start to access different realms. Anyone who's done a lot of fasting for many days, you start to realise you start to access more subtle realms. So Christ is going well into the subtle realms here, 40 days of fasting, and he's like hearing these voices and that, and he's like, get hence, Satan, and he's just in his centre dealing with it all. And after 40 days and 40 nights, he'd conquered it. And that's what we got to do, not do the whole fasting in the wilderness shit, but you got to tell the voice to fuck off. And that's what it comes down to. So the first thing is the discernment. So that's what I was saying to John. You know, he's like, I know, he's like, when I'm washing my hands, I'm telling myself, I don't need to be doing this, I shouldn't be doing this, it's wrong. But he was powerless over the voice. The voice had him. So first of all, know that that voice is not your friend. Know that that voice is telling you can't go out the flat, you can't go out into the world. Tell it to fuck off. Go out into the world. Do the opposite of what it says. If it tells you can't go out in the world, go out in the world. You know, if it's like I can't handle this, you can handle it. You tell it to fuck off. You come back into your strength. It's all about coming back into your strength and into your power. So the first thing is realizing, discernment, knowing that voice, recognizing it, knowing it's not your friend, knowing it's your enemy, and you're going to do battle with it. Now it's time to put on your armor to do battle, and you have to tell it to fuck off, and it will come back. Fuck off. Wash your hands again. No, I won't wash my hands. Oh, you just touch that? Yeah, I'll touch it all. Look, I'll touch it all and I'll rub it all over my face. I'll lick it. It's completely fine. Fuck off. You know, this is what you got to do. You can't go out of the house. Yeah, I can go out of the house. I'm going to go out of the house right now. Fuck off. You know, oh, I'm so depressed. Poor me. No, I'm not depressed. No, poor me. Everything I've got, I bought it myself. I'm all right. I'm going to buckle up and I'm going to get on with my day. So whoever you are, fuck off. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's the same remedy. You tell the voice to fuck off. And you do the opposite to what it says. Know it's your enemy. Do battle. Once you've got that, you've conquered it. I know it helps John because I'm with him personally. And I've built up a relationship with him. We've got to this point where I just cut through with him. And he got it. The light came on and bang, you know, he's there. Obviously, he doesn't want to go in the care home, so it's probably an impetus, but he was so gone, believe me, he was so gone, it's almost like a miracle is what's happened with John. He's healed. Now he's on the second stage. The second stage is not to relapse. It's almost like addiction. You break an addiction, you stop it like that. That's it, you've healed. But now you want to not relapse. So that's a whole second thing now. You want to bring time. The further away you can get, the more time you can create without relapsing, the stronger you become, the weaker the voice becomes. So it's the same. It's almost like an addiction. It's a different aspect of addiction. And then the voice has got you. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do if you're an alcoholic. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to have your drink until you reach that point where you say, enough's enough. Fuck off. No, I'm not going to drink you vodka first thing in the morning. Fuck off. Then everything else starts to come into play. All the exercise, get up at a reasonable time, have good sleep, you know, regulate your lifestyle, go out, get your fresh air, do your cycling, running or swimming, do your yoga, your meditation, your breath work, you know, get some nice healthy food, cook a nice proper meal, spend some time making a proper wholesome meal, because the food you put in you, you know, you've got to get your mind sharp because you're in battle. So you've got to get the mind sharp. So meditation gets the mind sharp. Yoga gets the mind sharp. Exercise gets the mind sharp. Good rest gets the mind sharp. Everything so you can do battle, because that's where a person's at. You might be at that place right now watching me. So that's where you're at. So you've got to do battle. So that's the second stage. Bringing all these other things to assist the F-off therapy. But that's the crux of it. You just got to tell that voice to fuck off. So that's a kind of summary of F-off therapy. And I've used John as an example because that's how it's all come about from last night. And I know it's powerful and I know it works. And I've just thrown it up there raw because I'm on lockdown as well. Don't forget, I got to do something with my days. So I'm right here now sharing this because it works. And it might seem like a joke and that because of the name of it, but it's not a joke. This is real stuff. And yeah, I don't have qualifications as a psychiatrist or this, so maybe don't take me seriously. Who is this guy? And he's just calling it fuck off therapy. But believe me, I've got 30 years experience with all this, you know, and I've helped people, many people in the past with serious mental conditions. I know what I'm dealing with. And one reason I know what I'm dealing with is because many things, but one is I'm very intuitive and I tune into subtle energies. I always have my whole life. So it's something I've got a gift of tuning into subtle energies and subtle aspects of human nature. So I understand human nature very well. I understand what's going on with people. I understand myself. I understand what's going on with my own head and my own energy my own emotions, my own spirit, my own body, all different aspects of our being. I understand it. I understand what's going on with other people. When I see someone with this, I know what's going on. I'm not bewildered by it. I know what's going on. I know what they have to do. They have to just tell that voice to fuck off. It's not hard. It's very fucking simple. But to bring it into practice for a lot of people, it's difficult, but it's not a difficult thing to understand. Discernment. Who am I? I'm Adrian. Right, I'm Adrian. That voice is not Adrian. Fuck off. So now, like say with John, 80% of, I'd just say for percentage wise, 80% of OCD had taken over his mind. So John had been pushed into the corner. There was only 20% of John left. You know, 6 weeks ago there was 70% of John and just 30% OCD. Then the OCD was getting stronger and stronger. John was getting weaker and weaker. Now John's just in the corner like this, like wreck, who's completely, you know, completely taken over by OCD, completely powerless to it. He's only got 10-20% power left, and the OCD's 80%, destroying him. And it's like, John, mate, first of all, you've got to know that's not you. I'm talking to you now, John. That 10-20% there, this is who I'm addressing. Right, now you've got to build that 10-20% up to 30%, 40%, 50%, and push that OCD out, right out, until you're fully John in 100% power. And that's what this is about. It's getting people to come back into their power and reclaim their power. Because any voice in your head that isn't serving you, it's draining your energy and it's taking your power. You're losing your sovereignty and you're losing your autonomy. So it's about bringing that back, coming back to your power. And it can happen like that. And that's F-off therapy. I like to call it fuck-off therapy. Both are good. It works. It's not a joke. It's serious, it works. I've got 30 years experience dealing with this shit, okay? And I'm not messing around, I'm not mincing my words. Maybe I might become a bit more professional at some point, but seriously, if anyone's watching, you want to contact me, I can work through stuff on a one-to-one with you as well. Don't think I can't. It works, it's one solution for all, but to talk to someone and I can hear what's going on with you specifically, the answer is the same, you know what it is, so you can just get on with it now if you need to. But if you want to talk, you can talk, and we can go through things with your specific individual voice. And sometimes there are multiple voices in one person's head. Like he's got another voice that tells him he can't close his door at night because it might not open in the morning. Yeah, it's real. Can't close his door at night. So we're going to work on that today. We're going to go through some stuff. So I'm with him now. We're going to move through into... This is day one of a healed man. I've just seen him this morning. He's a healed man. He's thanking me like massively because he says, what you've just done for me is completely amazing. You've just kind of like saved my life. So he's here, and this is his day one now, so I want to be with him and touch base with him, but I just touched base with him this morning. He's still on it. I said, are you still there from where you were last night at 1 o'clock in the morning? Because, you know, sometimes you sleep, you wake up and you're back to square one. So I just want to check in with him. Are you still there? And he's like, I'm still here. I'm still there. I'm at 1 o'clock last night. So he's on it. And we're going to touch base, and I'm just going to help him move into day one now and how he can start developing a life for himself as a new man, you know. And it's come at an amazing time in his life as well, a very special time. And this is going to be a new life, and it's not even go back to how you were before lockdown. It's about you're going to come out a whole new person. You don't even want to go back to there. You're going to come out better than before you went in. This is where he's going to take himself to a place that's better before you even went in. And that's what this whole thing is about. Lockdown, it's about the caterpillar coming into the cocoon, coming out as a butterfly, and that's what's going on with him. And he said like 6 weeks ago to himself once, before it got really bad, he saw what was happening, and he said to himself, this is the greatest possibility I've got for transformation right now. But it didn't seem like it was going that way. He lost that and he came into a wreck. But suddenly the transformations happened in a click of fingers, and it's true, it is. And everyone's got that opportunity, and you've all got that opportunity, and we all got that opportunity. So you got it now, and you can do it. Doesn't matter what's going on with you. Stress, anxiety, depression, OCD, scared to go out the house, whatever it is, it's just these voices. You just tell them to fuck off. And even if it's mild, So you can still live your life, but it's there. You can still work on that. Come into fuller power. Tell it to fuck off no matter what, even if it's only got 10 or 20% of your being. Still tell it to fuck off. Come back into 100% power. This is where we're heading, into 100% power. This is the age we're heading into now. It's an age of awakening. We're all waking up as a human race. And what's going on now with this global lockdown and coronavirus scare, it's waking people up. More people have woken up in the last 40 days than they probably have in the last 40 years. Honestly, people are waking up. They're seeing through it because the science is showing them that things aren't adding up here. There's something not right with Bill Gates. You know, people are seeing, the statistics are showing, people are waking up. Even people who before have been sleeping, being fed by BBC, you know. Yeah, British Broadcasting Company, but people are calling it the British Brainwashing Company. So people are seeing through it now and doing their independent research because they have to, because something's not right. They're feeling, because intuition is our best guide. But because of life and media brainwashing, we lose, and the fast pace of life in the city, we lose that subtle connection with intuition. But what's going on, people are connecting with that intuition, like something really doesn't feel right here, and people are waking up. So this is a time of a global awakening. So even those people who are already awake, we can still step it up. We can still become stronger, come into our 100%. We may not be in our 100%. We may only be in our 80%, 70%. So there's still work we can do to step it up into our 100% and come into our full power, into alignment with the higher self, you know. So there's more I could say. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to post this. It's all a bit of fun, but it's serious at the same time. So enjoy. Have a laugh, but it's serious at the same time. So I hope you can see both sides of things. And those who are really struggling, some people are struggling, seriously struggling now. You know, statistics have come out like suicide has gone right out off the roof because of lockdown. So they're saving us all from this supposedly deadly virus that 99.996 people are surviving from. But more and more people are killing themselves because they can't handle being locked away. So many people are by themselves. Like if this John, if he was living by himself, he'd be finished. He'd be finished, man, because of the lockdown. It would have taken another person out. But because he was with us, we were a strength for him. There was 3 of us holding the space for him. And we've got to this point where he's had a breakthrough. Otherwise, he'd be fucked. And loads of people like that. So it's serious for a lot of people. So if anyone you think is going through a difficult time mentally, you can share this video to them, because this video is serious. And people who aren't going through a hard time, they just think, oh, who is this guy? Oh, fuck off therapy. What a fucking load of nonsense. But anyone who's actually going through a difficult time could probably connect with this and think, fucking hell, this guy knows what he's talking about, because it will resonate with you, or it will resonate with that person. Because when you hear this, if you're in that, you know what's going on, you think, fucking hell, this is exactly what's happening. And you'll discern that voice, tell the voice to fuck off, okay? That's my last sentence on this video, is tell that voice to fuck off. And I'm here for you. I might even create a Facebook page. Fuck off. Yeah, it's called Fuck Off Therapy. It's out of this world for those people who are ready for change. That's the Fuck Off Therapy. Well, it won't be. It'll be F ... off therapy. Then the subtitle is It's Out of This World. And then the subtitle is For Those Who Are Ready for Change. Okay, so you have to be ready for change. But if you're ready for change, you've got this. And this can assist you. And I can assist you. So you can contact me. So yeah, I could even create a Facebook page. You can contact me through there. Otherwise, it's on my Facebook page, you know, my personal Adrian Kent. If you want to contact me, you'll find a way to contact me. Okay, so that's my little sharing for today. This is what's going on. It's serious. I want to help people. We're breaking through here, guys. We're all doing it together. We're coming into a new age. We're in the new age and we're developing that, and it's real. And we're going to take this to higher heights, but these higher heights is just coming back to our normal self. That's all it is. We're just coming back to our normal self. you know, what is Kundalini awakening? Kundalini awakening is just coming back to your normal self. But our normal self is we're very empowered beings, and we've lost that power. So it's about getting that power back. And the mind is a big part of who we are. And we can't see the mind, but we know it exists and it's real by its symptoms. And the symptoms of the mind are thoughts. That's how we know the mind exists, because we have thoughts, and thoughts are the symptoms of the existence of the mind. Now, thoughts, as we know, are words and sentences and paragraphs, and often really bloody long stories that never stop, that only we can hear. No one else can hear them, unless someone's telepathic, but there's not that many people on that level on Earth at the moment. So for argument's sake, it's words and sentences and paragraphs and stories that only we can hear and no one else can hear. And they're in our head, but they're real. So this is what we're dealing with here with FOF therapy. We're dealing with those thoughts in the head and coming back to ourselves, because not all these thoughts are ours, as we've probably got to understand. They're not our thoughts. They're like imposters in our mind. And if we're not aware, we just act on them like they are us, because we're not even thinking. We just become those thoughts. So the first thing is to discern who we are. I am Adrian, and that thought, that's not Adrian. So that thought can fuck off until it's just, my whole mind is just Adrian, and every thought is like fed from the divine or from the higher, you know, from the universe. It's all like the higher will is coming through. It's like, yeah, these thoughts, they're nourishing thoughts, they're friendly thoughts, they're helpful thoughts. These are Adrian thoughts. And if it's not, if it's a negative thought who's trying to pull you down constantly, it's not an Adrian thought, it's not a John thought, it's not a Sarah thought. It's something else, and that you've got to get out your head. That's what we're dealing with. And it's as simple as that, but it's kind of, there's a hardness to it as well. But if you get to that point of awakening, it's done. You do it, you're healed. You don't need anything. That's why it says it's, with all respect to psychiatrists, pharmaceutical medicine, everything has its place. But once you've seen the light in fuck off therapy, and you've healed yourself in that moment, then you don't need any of that stuff. So within the context of fuck off therapy, then it's fuck off all of it. Fuck off psychiatrists, fuck off the psychiatrists, fuck off the doctors, fuck off the counsellors and other therapists, fuck off the pharmaceutical medicine. You don't need them. Why? Because you're the drug, you're the medicine, you're the doctor, you're the psychiatrist, you are all that. You don't need any of that eventually. Once you come to your place of self, of strength, once you can bring this fuck off therapy into action, you are all that. You're the doctor, you're the psychiatrist, you're the drug, you're the medicine. You become that because you're coming into your power. So you know what you need. Great Facebook quote. I really loved it the other day. Lady went into the doctor's office. She said, "Doctor, I'm not feeling very well and I don't know why." So what did the doctor say? Well, one friend commented, said, he didn't say what a normal doctor would say. One friend commented, it's a normal doctor say, well, look, take some antidepressants, take this, take some Valium, take some sleeping tablets, blah, blah, blah. That's what a normal, you know, that's what you get, isn't it? It's a closed science. It's not holistic. But this is what we're dealing with, mainstream doctors. This is what we're dealing with. It's a closed science dealing with pharmaceuticals. So this doctor said, let me see if I remember it all. It was something like, meditate for 20, yeah. So doctor, I don't feel very well, I don't know why. So doctors wants, meditate for 20 minutes twice a day. Exercise for 30 minutes a day. Stop eating processed foods and eat more organic, fresh fruit and vegetables. Ditch the TV. And there was one more thing, I can't remember it, but basically like that. And he said, and come back in 3 weeks' time. And I tell you, if a person actually did that, meditated for 20 minutes twice a day, exercise for 30 minutes a day, get more fresh air, go out more, that was it, and stay less inside. Ditch your processed foods and eat more organic, fresh fruit and vegetables, and ditch the TV. If someone actually did that, if a doctor said that and they did it and came back 3 weeks later and said, "Doctor, I'm feeling so much better. Fucking hell, I can't believe how much better I'm feeling from doing that. That's how simple it is. Everything becomes but the thing with that is there's a certain amount of discipline needed and a certain amount of will that you've got to put into your life to get the result, because the drug kind of does it for you, but it doesn't do a great job, so it's better to do it for yourself. But to get to that point, first you've got to fuck that voice out of your head, then you start adding these things in because you're feeling more alive. You think, well, I got my power back. Wash your hand, don't fuck off. I got my power back. Right, I'm going to go and exercise now. I'm going to do this because you got your power back. You feel you want to now, because when that voice has got you, you don't want to do anything because you've succumbed to it. It's got you. You're in a weak state. When you tell it to fuck off, you come back into your power, into your strength. Then you can do all these things. Now, that's stage 2 that I mentioned earlier. Now you start to do these things that doctor advised. Do your bit of whatever it is. There's so many tools in this modern age now. So many. We've got everything from all around the world now, pretty much, that we can access. Think in the 1950s, what did our parents or grandparents have in the 1950s in England? What tool? There was no yoga, kind of no vegetarian or organic diet. There was no real meditation. There was nothing in the 50s, not much for them, but now there's so much. We've got so much therapy, the homeopathy and the herbalism and the juices, and it just goes on and on and on, the list of stuff you can bring in to assist you in your life, like as your own doctor, you know, bring in your medicines. So that's stage 2. So when you do the F off, then you're ready, you've got the life for stage 2. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thumbs up for that. I hope I get a thumbs up from you, you lot as well. You don't think I'm mad, but I know I'm not. I know what I'm dealing with here, so it's all good. So I don't care if anyone does think I'm fucking mad, because I know what I'm dealing with, and I know what needs to be done. I know what people have got to do. So people just look into yourself and know what you've got to do and do what's got to be done. You know, you don't need no fucking qualification to see. You know, did the shamans go to Babylon school? Did the shamans go to Oxford University? Did they go to Cambridge? No, they didn't. You don't need to. You can, but you don't need to. It's not all dependent on a certificate from what you could call a Babylon University. That's not what's needed. It can help, and it's got a place, but it's not what's needed. The shamans don't have that, and they know what's going on. They can help people come back to themselves. It's all about come back to yourself. You don't need any of that. You just have to come back to yourself. That's all you have to do, is come back to yourself. Who am I? And come back to that. Always come back to who am I? Where's Adrian? Where's John? Where's Sarah? Where's Jane? You know, you just got to come back to that. And whatever's that imposing, get it out. Okay. I could just keep going on, but I'm repeating myself now, so that'll be enough. But sometimes you have to hear things numerous times for it starts to sink in, you know. So that was great. Enjoy your day, everybody. It's a beautiful day, you know, the weather's good. So get out, drink plenty of water, you know, because water, we're 80% water, 79%, so drink your water. First thing in the morning, it's good to drink your water. You know, when you first wake up, flush out your system with water. There's so many things you can do to assist. But what we're dealing with here is the root of it, which is for the mind. We're dealing with the mind. This whole thing's about the mind, so it's fuck off therapy. But then you work on everything else. You strengthen your body, you clean your body, because a strong body is a strong mind. And it doesn't mean it has to be massively muscly. Look at my body, it's not massively muscly, but I've got a strong body, you know. So obviously it could get more strong, and I could go to the gym a bit and tone it all up, but I'm not overly concerned about that. Real strength is more in the sinews. It's in the very deep aspects of our muscles. It's not in just bulking up, because that's not necessarily strength. And also you want a whole range. Strength is also cardiovascular. You want to be fit, not just strong. And you want to be flexible, not just strong, because some people will be really strong but they can't even bend down, like to bend down to do their shoelace up. So you know, everything's like a struggle. So it's about the whole balance, and then strength is about the strength of the mind. So the meditation is a good workout. When you meditate, you're doing a meditation, you're working out the mind, you know. So that's important, to work the mind, not just the body. So there's all aspects of our being we want to work. Okay, I've said enough. Lots of love.